Okay, so starting off with the things you're gonna need, you're gonna need some Mexican rice. I use this kind. I find it's really good. And then you're gonna need 2 cans of Swanson chicken broth, or you can use beef broth too, but I find that the chicken broth adds a better flavor to it. So 2 of those. I use extra virgin olive oil. I like the taste it gives. Some salt, some garlic powder for a taste, and of course you need 1 pound of ground beef. I use this one, or you can use extra lean beef if you want to be more healthier. Now for the vegetables, you'll need about 2 big baking potatoes, some red onion, or you can use white onion if you want to. You're going to need 2 Roma tomatoes, or you can use regular tomatoes, but these just add more to the Mexican taste. You're going to need some cilantro, or you can use mint or basil, but I like using cilantro. And you're going to need some serranos or jalapeno fresh peppers for garnish at the end. Okay, so what you're going to want to use is a big deep pot like this, and just add some of the olive oil or vegetable oil, whatever kind of oil you want to use. Add a little bit in there. Now I already chopped up some of the onion. You're going to want like this much chopped up, not really tiny pieces, just kind of chunky. And this is the first step. Okay, so I just kind of dumped the onion in there with the oil, and you're going to want to turn it on to like about medium height, like medium heat, like around 4, 3, or 5. I have it on 4. And you're just gonna wait for the oil to heat up and start frying the onion. This is gonna let the soup have a very strong taste. It's gonna taste really good though, just trust me. So I'm just gonna wait for that to get heated up. I forgot to mention, you're also gonna need 2 small white eggs. Okay, so now you're gonna want to crack the 2 eggs and put them into a big bowl if you have one. I'm just using this. It doesn't have to be perfect, just so it's, kind of blended in together. I think that's good. As I said, it doesn't have to be perfect. Okay, now what I did, I mixed in the raw ground beef. I sprinkled some rice in there and some cilantro and some salt and some garlic powder. And now I'm going to mix this all up with my hands. And you have to mix it really good. If you're wondering about the measurements, I put about a cup to half a cup of white rice. And this is raw white rice. And I'd say like about half a cup of cilantro, and that's 1 pound of raw beef. Okay, now you have to start forming the meat into like 1 inch round little balls, and you set them up. And yeah, so just start forming those into little 1 inch balls. Now over here with the onions, they're pretty fried right now. You add the Swanson broth, both of the cans. So yeah, and you have to add the other cans too. Now you just add some water to it. So it should be like this. So it's 2 cans of chicken broth and then 2 of these. And you just put that on high so it starts to boil up. I actually ended up just using 1 potato. So there it is, chopped up, because it was a really big one. But if you're going to be using small ones, then just use 2 small ones. And if it's a big one, then just use 1. And under here are the tomatoes chopped up. Okay, so this is how the meatball should look. once they're nice and formed. So 1 pound makes about this many. Okay, now the broth is it's like not yet boiling, but it's like almost there. So when it's like this, like really hot, you gently dip the meatballs in. There you go. And you just keep doing that till you have all of them in there. Okay, now you add the bowls of chopped potatoes and tomato. And now you add a little bit more salt in there. And get a little bit more garlic powder. This stuff really gives good flavor. And now you just keep it covered, and I say you let it boil for about 10 to 15 minutes. You can keep checking on it to make it's ready once the meat is totally brown and the potatoes are tender. Okay, so it's been more than 10 minutes, but it still isn't ready, even though, as you can see, the meatballs are brownish already. But you have to keep cooking it until the rice on there, I don't know if you can see it that good, the rice that's on there gets how do you say it? It gets esponjado, I don't know how to say that. It gets like swollen up, it gets really soft, and the potatoes are still not tender. So you keep cooking it, it's okay. And you should taste the broth a little bit, and if it still needs flavor, then go ahead and add more salt. You can add oregano, you can add chili powder if you feel it needs a little bit more zing to it. So yeah, I'm gonna keep on cooking it. I'm gonna wait another 10 minutes. Okay, so it's been about 5 minutes, and I forgot, I tasted it right now and it didn't have the flavor that I wanted it to have. So I'm gonna add a little cube of this nor caldo de tomate. It's basically it's like a little tablet of chicken flavor with tomato, and it just adds a little more flavor because I don't want to add any more salt to it, because I don't know, I feel like it needs a little bit more flavor. So I'm gonna add a cube of these, and it's gonna dissolve in there, and I'm gonna keep boiling it for another 10 minutes. Okay, so it's ready, and everything's ready now. Like, the potatoes are tender, the meat is nice and done. It has really good flavor after I added those little chicken and tomato flavoring cubes. I just added one and I let it mix in. So yeah, that's about it. That's done.